So we're starting off on a 2011 Jetta with the 2.5. It has the mechanical vacuum pump that runs on the side of the timing cover, and the vacuum pump is leaking. So we're going to go ahead and get the engine cover off. You're supposed to split the transmission and the engine to get this out, but I'm going to show you a different way that I do it. It's a little sketchy, but I've never had one come back. So this cover's already all nice and broken. I gotta pop the screws out of it. These are what, T20s. One on each side. Okay. Set that over there. Try not to break this cover anymore. Different way of doing it. Don't want to break anything. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we're down to this part with the light on. Now we're going to pull the inlet off. One hose clamp right here. As you put it back like that. And then there's two, maybe three hoses hooked to this. Don't really remember. It's been a little bit since I've done one. You want to be very careful with these hoses. Don't want to break them. Try this a different way. Actually, it was easier. Careful, there might be one more. I don't think so. Nope, we're good. There's only two. Okay. So next we're gonna go ahead and take the battery out, and then we gotta take the old battery tray out. So 2 10s on that, and then the tray bolt should be a 13. It's right over here. Pull it out. It's just that right there. Set that up on the cowl. Don't have a cowl. Okay, let's pull this out. Everything's broken. I try not to be mean, but I call this the junkyard car because everything is broken, like it was in a bad accident. And it was pieced back together. And you can see this. This isn't even, it's all broken and cracked. There should be 3 10s. Okay. The radiator in this thing is hanging on by one mount because it's all broken off. This is, someone already had the pleasure of destroying it, so. It made it easier for us, but I don't like that. Okay. Now on these, what in the? See, this is what I'm talking about. Never ends. What in the stuff is that? Well, we wrote up a list of stuff this car needed, and the customer declined everything besides this vacuum pump. So we'll just make them aware. That's all I can do. You know, as long as it's nothing safety related, there's really nothing I can do. So I know it's kind of hard to see. The vacuum pump is right here. So it's actually behind this hose. You can kind of see a glimpse of it right there with the Torx in it. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to pull the neutral safety out. So you want to try to be careful with the neutral safety. You want to make sure you leave the marks where the bolts are because it needs to go back in the same spot. I'm going to go ahead and pop this clip, plug the neutral safety, and then let's try to pop this off. Actually, you know what? I don't pop that off. I pull the 13 off the other side. the back side right here, I pull that nut off. Should be a 13 and a little washer, like a lock washer. There's that. And then those are 12, so I'm gonna need 12. See, came prepared. Oh, right here. It runs?
Yeah,
oh, cool.
I got it to start.
How's it run? Good?
Missing the catalytic converter, but yeah, it seemed to run fine. Cool. Start it up. Yeah, it started.
And then it
drew a check engine light, but I'm assuming it's because
the injector just plugged out now.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's the missing catalytic converter.
Just do me a favor, scan it, okay? Just so we can be sure, and then I try to put on the rack. It's kind of good for you.
I can't get to the rack.
Yeah, if you want, you can pull that west side. You can do the thing right here. I don't want you working on all of us. Okay, now let's go wiggle, jiggle, jiggle. You want to be very careful with this range sensor. So we got that nasty thing out. Okay, now we're down to the vacuum pump. Be careful, these are on these Volkswagens, they're very delicate. Now, I'll leave that for right in a second. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull the cover off. And these are T20s as well. And I really can't get in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue removing the cover bolts on the pump. And just to give you an idea of what I'm doing, this is the new pump. It's a Pierreberg. This is what they put on them from the factory. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these 4 bolts, the 4 T20s. Pull that off, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do on the inside. So I got one out. Let's get it. And it's really hard to see in there. Don't want to leave no bolts in here. And you don't have to worry. The timing chain or nothing's gonna jump now. It's just like a stationary pulley. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I've never had one move. Okay, it's gonna leak a lot of oil out right now, so I'll be ready for that. Make sure you have a bucket under there. There's all the oil. Look at all that yellow oil. Try to collect some of that oil. Okay, now we're gonna get the Torx out. There should be one right here. So there's 2 more on this side. I really wish I could get a better view for you. We'll try. I want you to be able to see. Hopefully that's better. No, that you can't see. So I know it's the rag's at the bottom. It's really hard to see. This is the secondary air pipe, and then you have the coolant hose. Back behind here, there's 2 T30s. There's one right here. See if I can get a better light. There's only 3 of them that hold it in place. There's one. Actually, that would be number 2. And there's one down at the bottom. Down here. This one I usually have to take the socket off the extension and feel it. I'm trying to remember exactly. It's right there. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna get my magnet, pull this out. So there's our net leather Torx. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I really wish this air pipe. Problem is, you mess with an air pipe, then you're having a bad day because it'll break. Hopefully that's a little bit better. You can kind of see it. So I'm gonna pull this wafer out of the pump. So it won't come out just yet. So let's pull the pump out. Should pop out. Should pull this hose out first. I think the hose should just pop right off. Oh yeah, this one's a pain because it's got that rubber thing in there. I might have to leave it on for right this second. So let's go ahead and pull the pump out a little bit. I'm gonna move that. Let me loosen there. There's a 10 on this bracket. I'll grab a 4-inch 10. Okay. So over where the T30 is, there's a 10mm. What it does, it holds this pipe to a bracket. I'm gonna pull that out. I really don't want to drop it, so I'm kind of getting my hand in there now. Okay, there's the little 10 right there. Put in your tray so you don't lose it. Okay, that should make it a little bit easier to come out now. There's only 3. And then we're just gonna pop it out. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the pump. Turn it, and I can pull this wafer out. Pull this. I'm gonna turn it. And then you see I lined it up with the shift thingy and the transmission shift rod. Okay, it's a little bit hard to get out because I didn't get the pipe off. So you got to be very careful with this pipe, though. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's easy. You can slide this in and out. It's not gonna hurt it. Okay, so let me go clean myself up. Get down dirty. Get it all ready and cleaned up. Now you need to make sure you're very, very clean when you take this new pump apart. Get the magical brake clean out. Let's clean up the mating surface. I know you're not going to be able to see it, but you just want to wipe the surface down. It's just a flat surface. You want to clean your gloves up. Like I said, you want to make sure your hands are really clean. Take this out. Okay. Okay, then also what I like to do on this new pump, these gaskets are a little funky. So, you put a little bit of silicone If I can get it to just a dab in this corner right here, just to hold the gasket in. I'm not trying to make it seal or nothing. You can see on the gasket it's got the 3 tabs, so it stays in there. Okay, got that. Okay, now what we're gonna have to do next is pull this brand new pump apart.
Let me find out.
Now let's clean my gloves one more time. Clean as we can be. Clean my tool. Okay. So now there's the brand new pump. So we're gonna pull the cover off. Okay. We're gonna pull. Just don't want to drop the screws. So we're gonna pull this one out, nice one, and pull the 4 of these out. Set them in our tray so I'll get lost. And these are like self-tappers. You can tell by the thread the way they're cut. So there's a little tight at the beginning. Okay, and you're gonna take the cover, make sure you set the cover aside. Make sure you keep everything clean. We're gonna take this out. Make sure you hold both ends because both ends will fall out. Okay, now that we're ready to go ahead and insert the pump. Now this is a little bit fun, I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna move this pipe out of the way. You want to be very careful of that pipe because it will break. So go ahead and set this new one in here. We're gonna push this back. I'm gonna try to be as clean as possible. Okay, and then you're going to line it back up into the engine. Okay, we got it bolted in. Now we got to line this up. Okay, it's lined up inside the engine now. So I just pop right in. Now what I want to do, I'm going to try to get this wafer in real quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in there like this. Might have to pull it out and turn it. Okay, so I got the wafer in. There's that. Okay. That wasn't actually too bad. Now I need to use my brain. I was trying to find my T30 and torques. Okay. So we'll start with the easy one. Here's the T30. I think it's right here. We're just gonna get it started. We're not gonna tighten it down just yet. Okay. Over here is kind of a pain in the butt because of the bracket. You need to get the bracket back in place. So we're gonna have to pull it back. Okay. Start that one. Just gonna get them all started by hand. We're not gonna tighten them. Okay, and then we have the bottom one. The bottom one went way down here. Okay. So let me get my ratchet. Well, let me grab my ratchet. Then we'll tighten it. Okay, there's one tightened. Now there's 3 total. Don't forget to tighten them, all of them. And then you just want to look and make sure your gasket's still in place. I can see my gasket still in place by this top part up here. So we're doing good. Just want to keep the dirt down when you're working in here. You don't want to get any more, don't want to contaminate this new pump. So I try to be extremely careful. We're going to go ahead and just pop the cover on right now to prevent that. So let's go ahead and put the cover on. I got the new bolts. Just like so. It's not too bad. And, you know, I can understand why they want you to split the engine and trans to get it out, because if you try to pull it out as one piece, it hits the shift rod coming out of the trans. Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you? No problem. Oh, you can set him over there. Thank you. No, in the box. In the box. Okay. Go ahead and tighten this up. Let's get them all started because they're tapered at the end. No. Okay. And now these things, these vacuum pumps, when they leak oil everywhere. So I've had them leak up to a few weeks after doing it. So just keep that in mind. You just want to clean off as best you can right now, so you can determine if you actually have another leak. But just be aware that I've had it before where the transmission holds oil, so it'll hold oil in like all the crevices and stuff for quite a while. So we got the 10 back in, got that. We're going to pull this plug off. We'll go ahead and put this back on. Just try it. Like I said, these love to brake on these cars. No, are you? Okay. Try to clean up a little bit. I like it. But yeah, just always clean it up and just run it for a couple weeks. Keep an eye on everything. See you later, Luis. Okay. So the vacuum pump's done and installed. Now we're going to put the range switch back in place. This falls right in place. Okay. And then you want to line it up with the original holes. That's why you should be very careful. Try not to mar the top of the switch. You can see exactly where it was. Say about right there. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Next we have that. Okay, now we're gonna put the rod back on. Or the shift cable piece thingy majingy, we're gonna call it today. I'm gonna get it all the way on. I don't want to force it on. I guess it only sits on a little piece of it. It's interesting. Get that on real quick. So I put the nut back on the same way. I'm gonna grab a. Let's see, is it a 12 or is it 13? That is the factor 12. I'm going to opt to do this one by hand. I don't feel like breaking this piece. Okay, we're going to pull. We're going to have to counter hold it. Okay, it's tight. Now let's hook this bracket back up. Yes. Yes.
H&H has one.
Okay.
Want me to just get it coming? I can't reach him.
Yeah, I would. I'm sure he's gonna fix it.
Okay.
Oopsies. Drop the bolts. Drop the bolts. So yeah, just clean it the best you can. And keep an eye on it for a little bit. Because I pulled transmissions out when they're leaking, and the transmission on the inside, the back of the engine, completely covered in oil. So we got that hooked up, we got the range switch plugged in, range switch is bolted, the vacuum pump 3 bolts are tight, vacuum line's on to the booster. We got this bracket back on, and the pipes hooked back up, so we're good over there. So now I'm going to put this broken battery tray bracket back in. I've already made the customer aware of many things this thing needs, but I'm going to add more to it now, because the battery tray is broken that holds this. I think this is a transmission computer in place. And then this, whatever fire hazard going on with this fuse. Yeah. Make sure this isn't stuck under here. And then we're trying to put the bolts back where they came from. They should all be these little black bolts, but yeah, this car don't have nothing that's right. Let's go ahead and tighten these 10s. Snug. Okay. There's those. Let's get that back. And the good thing is they have the felt on the negative terminal to keep it from permanently corroding. I don't understand the purpose of those. These little felt things that they put on the batteries. AutoZone loves to push them. I just see them hold battery acid all the time and rot out the terminals faster. But I don't know. What do I know? So when I do batteries, I throw them away. Okay, that's nice and toy. Okay. Oh, nice and sparky arcing. Hooked up properly. I don't know if there's anything I can do about this battery tray or this bracket right here being broken. This right here. I don't like working on stuff like this. Just too many variables. I set this on there. It wasn't really even on there. I'm just gonna set it there. I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm just gonna make him aware of this. I'm not gonna touch it. I don't want to zip tie it to anything. That's all I'm gonna do. Because if I zip tie it to the transmission connector and it might damage it by pulling on the connector, I'd rather not. Pop these lines on the empty tube. Throw one for the, I think it's a PCB on this. And the other one's secondary air. There we go. I actually like these engines. They're not bad. It's 2.5 liters. Just timing chain things, you know. I think I've seen one with timing chain issues. I really don't see enough of them, but I see them, 150, 200,000 miles. They're a little leaky, and overall they're pretty good. This vacuum pump. Yeah. Yes, Cerritos. Yeah, these are pretty good engines. This is probably the only thing naturally aspirated. No, I shouldn't say that. I definitely wouldn't buy a Volkswagen turbocharged model. A gasoline one, at least. Garbage. And I'm not just hating, I love Volkswagens. You know, you just have to be real with the brand. And I own 2 of them. Oh, yeah, 2 Volkswagens. Some of their stuff's good, and I'll be real, some of their stuff's trash. Anything turbocharged in the last, 15 years, garbage. Oil consumption.